Alright, this is part 2 to ranking every single Mario Kart track. In the last video, we covered the first couple games, SNES, 64, GBA, DS, GameCube, and Wii. Now all that's left is 7, 8, and Tour. So once we get through that, then I'll get into officially ranking out every single track based on how many points they scored. If you didn't see the other video, I made a little system here where every single track can get a score out of 15 based on 3 things: how fun they are, how well they're designed, or how appealing they are to look at. Not like the design is in the layout, just the design is in the aesthetic. And then lastly, how good their music is. So each one of those can score up to 5 points, which is obviously 15 total. So let me just get into it here. Starting with tracks from Mario Kart 7, we have Toad Circuit, which gets a 3, a 3, and a 4. Daisy Hills gets a 3, a 4, and a 3. Cheep Cheep Lagoon gets a 3, a 4, and a 3 as well. Shy Guy Bazaar gets a 3, a 2, and a 2. I've never really understood why people like this one. I personally don't, but that's just me. Woohoo Island Loop gets a 4, a 5, and a 4. Mario Circuit gets a 3, a 4, and a 4. Music Park gets a 4, a 4, and a 3. Rock Mountain gets a 4, a 4, and a 4. Piranha Plant Pipe gets a 2, a 3, and a 3. If you ask me, that's probably the worst and only truly bad track to come out of that game. Wario Shipyard gets a 4, a 4, and a 3. Also, I should probably mention, this system I'm doing, it sort of eliminates a little bit of my biases, but it's still coming from one person, and it's still opinionated in a way, so this is mostly all my opinion. If you want to do this yourself and score these things, these tracks, your own way, go ahead. Obviously, we'll have different opinions. I'm just doing this to show my opinion and sort of rank the tracks in a way. Anyway, I think I was on Mario Shipyard. If I already did it, I guess I'm doing it again. You got a 4, a 4, and a 3. Neo Bowser City gets a 3, a 3, and a 3. Woohoo Mountain gets a 5, 5, and 4. DK Jungle gets a 4, a 5, and a 5. Rosalina's Ice World gets a 3, a 4, and a 3. Bowser's Castle gets a 4, a 4, and a 3. And lastly, Rainbow Road gets a 5, 5, and 3. It's widely regarded as one of the best tracks, and I agree with that, so naturally it got a high score. Next up is tracks from Mario Kart 8, starting with Mario Kart Stadium, which I gave a 4, a 3, and a 3. Water Park gets a 4, a 4, and a 3. Sweet Sweet Canyon gets 3 3s. Thwomp Ruins gets 4, 4, and 2. Mario Circuit from this game gets a 3, a 4, and a 3. Toad Harbor gets a 4, 5, and 3. Twisted Mansion gets a 4, a 3, and a 2. Shy Guy Falls gets a 4, a 4, and a 3. I do gotta say, if you ask me, the more advanced the technology gets and the better the graphics get, somehow the tracks seem to get less memorable over time. I don't know why that is. Like, the tracks are so complex and detailed now, and while that's a good thing aesthetically, it's just hard to really grow an attachment to them with how much is going on. If you compare it to some of the older tracks when they're just really simple, they're a lot more likable in that sense. Anyway, Shy Guy Falls is 4, 4, and 3. I think I already said that, but yeah. Sunshine Airport is a 4, a 3, and a 3. Dolphin Shoals gets a 4, a 5, and a 4. Electrodrome gets 4, 4, and 4. Mount Wario gets a 5, 5, and 3. A lot of these really good tracks are mostly just held back by not having the greatest songs, like this, for example. Anyway, Cloud Top Cruise gets a 4, 4, and 3. Bone Dry Dunes gets a 3, 3, and 2. Bowser's Castle gets a 4, 4, and 5. Does that say 5? I can't read my handwriting sometimes. I'm gonna assume that says 5. Rainbow Road gets a 4, and a 3. Excite Bike gets a 3, a 2, and a 3. Dragon Driftway gets 3 4s. Mute City gets a 4, 3, and 4. And by this point, we're obviously into those extra DLC tracks that are in 8 Deluxe, and I think were originally DLC for the original 8. Wild Woods is 4, 5, and 3. Animal Crossing is 3, 5, and 3. Ice Outpost gets a 4, a 3, and a 4. Hyrule Circuit gets 3 4s. Super Bell Subway gets a 4, 4, and 3. And lastly, Big Blue gets a 5, 4, and 4. And this brings us into all of those tracks that were added in the Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Starting from Ninja Hideaway, which I gave a 3, 4, and 4. Sky High Sundae, which I gave a 3, 2, and 3. Then Merry Mountain, which I gave a 4, 5, and 3. Yoshi's Island, I gave it a 5. Sorry, not a 5. A 4, and then 2 5s. Squeaky Clean Sprint, I gave a 3, a 2, and a 3. Paris Promenade, I gave a 3, a 4, and a 2. Tokyo Blur, and by this point these are tour tracks, but they're probably more popularly known for being an 8 Deluxe, since Tour is just a disgrace to the series. Paris Promenade, or no, I did that already. Tokyo Blur is 3, 4, and 3. New York Minute is 3, 4, and 2. Sydney Sprint gets a 3, 4, and 3. And honestly, most of these are just getting the same exact score as each other, because the way I see them, they all look good, yeah, because they're just based on real cities, but I don't think they're fun. I just don't like the way they're designed, and it honestly seems like when you play them in 8 Deluxe, it's like they're just not meant to be there. Something's off. I would try and explain it, but I don't have the time. Anyway, Berlin Byway is 3, 4, and 3. Amsterdam Drift is 3, 4, and 3 as well. So is Bangkok Rush. Singapore Speedway is 4, 5, and 4. Athens Dash is 3, 4, and 3. LA Laps is the same thing. Vancouver Velocity, which is probably the only one I really care about at all, gets a 3, 5, and 4. Rome Avanti gets 3, 4, and 3. Madrid Drive gets a 4, 4, and 3. And lastly, Piranha Plant Cove gets a 4, 4, and 4. So, we've got all of that out of the way. It's time for me to announce, in order, how every track scored. Starting at the bottom, the tracks that scored a total of 3 measly points out of 15, which means they only got a 1 out of 5 in every category. It's just one track, technically 3. Ghost Valley, all 3 of its renditions from the original game. So in this, they are the worst tracks ever. However, I don't personally think they are the worst tracks ever, which is kind of how this system I made up goes into eliminating some of my bias. It changed it up a bit to get that answer. Like, normally I would say my least favorite track ever is probably Banshee Boardwalk, but it didn't score that low. Anyway, tracks of 4 points are Vanilla Lake 1 and 2 and Choco Island 1. Tracks that got 5 points are Banshee Boardwalk, rightfully, Koopa Beach 1 and 2, Choco Island 2, and Donut Plains 2. Tracks of 6 points are Tick-Tock Clock, Baby Park, Ribbon Road, Yoshi Desert, Boo Lake, Choco Mountain, and Bowser's Castle 1 and 2 from SNES. And yeah, Tick-Tock Clock being there is probably a hot take, but I don't care. Tracks of 7 points are Shy Guy Bazaar, Lakeside Park, Riverside Park, Mario Circuit 4, SNES Rainbow Road, Moo Moo Meadows, Mario Circuit 1 and 2 from SNES, and Donut Plains 1. And then tracks that got 8 points are SNES Bowser 3, Squeaky Clean Sprint, Bone Dry Dunes, Toad's Turnpike, Sky High Sundae. The list gets long here, so I'm just gonna probably throw the names up on screen instead of reading them out by this point. So yeah, there's that. Pause if you want to. Tracks of 9 points are these. Tracks of 10 points are these. Wow, I'm dreading editing this. I have to write like 50 tracks out just for them to be on screen for like 2 seconds. With 11 points, we have these tracks. With 12 points, we have these tracks. With 13 points, we have these tracks. And I'll read these out since it's like the top of the top. With 14 points, i.e. second place overall, Yoshi's Island, Koopa Cape, Woohoo Mountain, Luigi's Circuit from GameCube, Dino Dino Jungle, and Yoshi Circuit from GameCube. And lastly, first place. This is probably a no-brainer. The only track to score a perfect score is Waluigi's Pinball. Who would have guessed? Yeah, so that was that. As I said, obviously that system I made up, it still had some of my biases in it. Like, obviously my bias will affect how much I like the music compared to other people, how well I think the track designed is. That wasn't proper English, I'm sorry. And how fun it is. But it's less biased than me just ranking the tracks out manually, because if I did it manually, my favorite track did not score 15 points or get on top. It wasn't even in the top 2 tiers, so it kind of helped to get rid of my bias, in a sense. Anyway, yeah, this has been a 2-part series of ranking every Mario Kart track. Not sure what I'm going to do next right now. I'm currently starting what I'm probably going to make a daily short series to go along with my weekly videos, and I might also be doing 2 videos a week now. Not sure yet, but I'm not really sure about any of this right now. We'll figure it out. But until then, if you like this, consider liking and subscribing, commenting, and all that, and thanks for watching.